The Russian ambassador to India has now lauded the BRICS and said that the BRICS can be a tool to the challenge of the hegemony of Western groupings, and stated that BRICS has the potential to replace the United Nations. Let us now listen in to what comments he has made.
16th BRICS summit in Kazan last month was the event of a global scale. It was by no coincidence that it took place at a turning point in history and became a demonstration of new world powers coming into being and of their stronger voice in global affairs. As a dedicated platform for the emerging powers, for the developing world, for the global south, BRICS is a reflection of the new realities. The motto of the Russian chairmanship in BRICS, the strengthening of multilateralism for equitable global development and security, echoes a growing demand for arriving to real equality in international relations.
Now, viewers, in fact, my colleague Megha Sharma is joining me live on these statements that have been made by the Russian ambassador and focusing on how the BRICS summit, in fact, poses to break the hegemony of the total Western groupings, and said that BRICS has the potential, in fact, to replace the United Nations. Megha, what is, in fact, the latest that you're tracking in this regard? And this is a huge statement that's here coming. Break it down for the viewers.
All right, this event, which is called the BRICS Potential, that is taking place in New Delhi today, saw a number of Indian and Russian dignitaries. Now, this is a historic, one-of-a-kind summit that has taken place today in India. And it was Ambassador to India, the Russian ambassador to India, Denis Alipov, who was speaking at this event, and he mentioned particularly about how the BRICS grouping has a potential to destroy the hegemony of the Western powers that are led by United States of America. He also made a very pertinent point about how BRICS can play an alternative to United Nations, which is again a grouping that was created, an international forum that was created keeping in mind the requirements of the West, which do not fulfill what the global South countries are looking for. Now, there has also been a lot of talk about the BRICS summit that has just concluded 2 weeks ago in Kazan in Russia. This is the 16th BRICS summit, and interesting to note also is that the Russian President Vladimir Putin is going to be arriving in New Delhi in a few months' time, as per the sources to Kremlin that have informed us. So it's going to be interesting developments which allow for India and Russia ties to forge further, which has said we have seen trade and economic ties growing to up to $65 billion in the last 12 months. Keeping in mind also is to the chagrin of Ukraine, the NATO allies and US. And is there going to be an attack of sorts that is going to happen from the NATO allies when the Russian president arrives in India? Meanwhile, taking a look at the G20 summit that has just concluded in Rio in Brazil, the Brazilian president has refused to make part of the declaration attacking Russia for the Ukraine-Russia war. This is also a precedent that had been set at the G20 New Delhi summit, which is carried forward by the Russian president at the Rio G20 summit. Keeping in mind, essentially, that BRICS is Brazil is an integral part of BRICS, and therefore its allegiances and its biases firmly placed towards Russia.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.